are doing a little bit of a season recap again for episode 4, and we've got the Hammer in today.
Yep.
Pretty excited to have this guest. He means a little to me. This is my little boy. If you go on, you'll see our pronghorn hunt video that we recorded. Well, this has been my hunting buddy now for, how many years do you have been?
Definitely a couple of years. Started in 4th grade was my first year. I got my first year with my grandfather.
That's a good. I saw the fluff.
Yeah, it was my first ever deer was with my grandfather on his property. I think I was using his crossbow.
You were using his crossbow.
Yeah.
I was hunting in Mike's stand.
Yeah, one of a family friend's stand close to our property. He was in, my dad was in, and I was in my grandfather's stand. And the week before, I just skinned the gut of a doe. But then this week, that week of my first deer, I was with him, and I just woke up from nap. And my grandpa was
Typical,
like,
my boy.
yeah, typical for me. I like to sleep. But anyways, I just woke up, and my grandpa was like, all right, it's starting to get dark. We'll pack up soon. And after he said that, we heard like hoofs hitting on rocks, like right behind us where the stream was dried up. And we were like, what is that? So we got real quiet and we watched. And this little 6-point came out from behind us and walked up to the apple tree that's in front of us, and he started gnawing on apples and got close enough. So my grandpa told me what crosshair to use, where to aim it, and held the crossbow for me. I don't know who was shaking more, me or him actually, but we both calmed down a little bit, and he's like, just squeeze the trigger, control your breath, calm down. And I did. And it was kind of a joke about like the week before when I missed the doe, we didn't see like any impact, like there was nothing. But this one, I watched the arrow go through, like the fluff. I saw the fluff fly, I said, and the hair going off. And I was leaning out of the top of this box blind, watching the deer run off in the field. And it ran, like 40 yards maybe?
No more than 40 or 50 yards.
40,
If he would have
50
been back
yards.
in the woods.
Yeah, and he like reared up like a horse and just fell. And it was such a cool thing to watch, and it was with my grandfather, and it was just a really awesome experience.
Dad always says, you screamed, I saw the fluff fly.
Yeah, so we got up, we got the deer, and then just started running around, just screaming. So that's how he knew, because he was close enough that he could hear me. He's like, well, Brennan got a deer.
Anytime I hunt up at my father's, I really never hunt on his farm. I hunt, and he was a close family friend, rest in peace, Mike Hornag, and he has a stand I absolutely love. I've got great bucks. I got huge. I don't really name my bucks, but I call this one huge because my dad was like, how big is it? And I just kept yelling, it's huge! And I got my buck the last 2 years.
Yeah.
3 years in PA out of there. I got my biggest buck ever out of there. Suppressed 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah.
6.5 Needmore.
Yeah.
Made a really tight shot, put it up through, and dropped the deer. It's crazy. I guess it doesn't just poke a pinhole through him.
Yeah,
But weird, right?
Yeah.
Also, a couple 7mm out of there.
The deer split in half.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm up there, and it's just starting to get dark. The deer is starting to move, and I hear wee, wee. It's like, what is going? And I hear it running across the field, and I hear it running back. And I'm 200-300 yards away.
Yeah, not that far.
Not that far as the crow flies, but the way to get around is probably a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit more of a walk going.
Yeah, maybe a quarter mile, but less than a half mile. So I just hear over the stream, and everything just sounds like a pig squealing. They just go running across the field and back, and then I was like, I'm done. I packed up my stuff, I came down, and he's just running around. He's covered in blood at this point. He's calling grandma and his mom and everybody else. But that was a cool first deer story.
Yeah, it was really cool.
But then your hunting took kind of a negative turn over the last few years.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk about it.
Well, obviously, like my freshman year, I played football. I was still playing football, and that just consumed a lot of time because I was still like junior football because my age, I'm young for my grade, so I still had to play junior football, and because of that, the games were on Saturdays and Sunday hunting was still illegal. It was just really hard for me to get out my freshman year. I only got out a couple days. Then my sophomore year was when I had my health concern, which we talk more about in the pronghorn video. But anyways,
real quick, he was diagnosed initially with lymphoma.
Yeah.
He had to have several surgeries, and it was a misdiagnosis, but it was still a long ordeal.
Yeah, it basically lasted my entire sophomore year. Took me out of sports for my junior year as well. But my junior year...
You still had a lot going on.
My junior year is just still...
I handicapped him a little bit. When he turned 14, look at the kid. He's a big boy. When you're benching well over 200 pounds, you don't need a crossbow anymore.
Yeah.
So I gave him a beautiful Matthews V3, got it all set up, bow's cooking. I said, if you're going to have a bow set up, I think in it's about $3,000. We're getting rid of that crossbow. You're a grown man now. You don't need the crutch. So you're going to hunt archery, you're going to do it like a man, and maybe use a bow and arrow.
Yeah. So my junior year, I didn't get out a lot, but I still got out a couple times with the bow. Just didn't really see anything though. But
the release to think of.
Oh yeah, I did see one thing. A doe. I was in a ground blind because it's a perfect spot my dad picked out where we hunt, but there's no trees really to get up in, so I have a ground blind and a doe, and she walked 5 yards in front of me. I don't know how I didn't spook her with how much I was moving. She was just staring right into my soul. And I got the bow up, and I'm so excited. I was like, this is my first bow kill. And I got it, and I have the release where you use your thumb.
You got a stand thumb release.
Yeah, so
great release.
It's a really nice release, and I've been using it for past 3 years basically.
Oh yeah.
Practicing archery, and get it back, ready to go. Nothing happened. So I'm hitting it with my thumb, and nothing's happening, and I let it down, and she's just still there. So I scramble. I'm texting my dad. I'm like, Dad, there's a deer. I try to shoot. Nothing happened. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, the release, it won't release. And that's actually.
If you're familiar with the stand release, they have a screw in the trigger that you can unscrew and put it through, so you can clip on and dry fire without actually releasing the string. And Brendan had his bow sitting out. Somebody in the house picked it up and was playing with it, and he didn't realize they had put the safety in that it wouldn't go off.
Yeah, so the release wouldn't release, but Doe ended up just walking away, and my dad ended up looking at the release later, and he was like, oh yeah, this is why, and he pulled it out, and it was fine. But yeah, so there's
always check your equipment. There's a lot of live deer out there because people don't check their equipment.
2 deer for me.
Yeah,
when I still using a crossbow, the bolt wasn't seated all the way back, and I wasn't able to turn the safety off because the bolt wasn't all the way down. So I missed a doe, or missed a chance at a doe, and then missed a chance at this doe because the release wouldn't release.
So this year you're back on the football.
Yeah,
kind of back on the football. Practiced all summer.
Yeah, then I got really bad shin splints
because
I missed half
almost 2 years that you were kind of laid up.
Yeah.
So you trained really hard, got in great shape, and then you got sidelined again.
Yeah, so this year I practiced all summer, but then 5 games of the season I was sidelined, but then got back into it. So that just took a lot of time, but still got out in the woods this year.
And he's wanted to hunt in a tree since he was a little kid. I want to hunt in a tree. And we don't have ladders. I'm a saddle hunter, so I got a new saddle set up. I gave him my saddle set up. If you've never saddle hunted before, it's a little...
It's definitely weird
to let go.
Yeah. You're sitting there, and I just want to hold on to the tree. He's like, let go. I'm like, I'm gonna fall. And so once I got in the tree more often, and the longer I was up there, I definitely found myself being able to move and go grab something, and it got more comfortable. But the
story's great. I love it. So I've been climbing forever. I feel comfortable. I can go up the tree like a squirrel. I don't mind letting go. I trust my rope to hold me. But I understand if you've never been in that situation, it's a little bit weird to lean back. So, and the way I set up things, I'm a large man, I'm tall, I can reach things. So I set up things for people who feel comfortable climbing.
Yeah.
Brendan was struggling, dressed like
Yeah, I was dressed up pretty
the
warm.
Michelin Man.
Yeah, I looked like the little kid from Christmas Story in the beginning, you know. But just I had the backpack on and just trying to climb up with all this gear on, like for the saddle, and everything is so spread apart, and you got to climb around branches, and so I was just so afraid of leaning back to get the rope and stuff over the lineman's rope to climb, and I'm just hugging the tree, getting snagged on everything I could possibly getting snagged on. Like something this big, I was getting snagged on. But yeah, just that was just a weird climb.
Yeah, so I'm getting hot and sweaty watching him go up this tree, and time's ticking away now because where I'm going to set up, I have to use my sticks to climb up. I don't have a setup, so I get all the way over. I get up, I set up my stuff. I get all the way. I tether it in. Sweat's pouring off me. I want to get my stuff on because I guess there's plenty of time, but I just like to get in early and not be rushed. I hate that feeling of getting into the woods where you're rushing. I want to get there nice and calm, take my time, set up. My phone goes off. Dad, I dropped my release.
Yeah, once I got up there, I was just trying to get everything like sorted out and like get used, like just not get used to, but like just see what it's gonna feel like to lean around the tree. Because as I set up, I'm kind of behind the tree, looking where I'm gonna be able to shoot. So I'd have to kind of swing around, and I just want to kind of get used. I was just not like moving around a lot, but just getting a little bit familiar with what it's gonna feel like. And I built my release, and it just.
So at this point, I'm less than 200 yards away, and I'm like, just stay there, because I know I could fly right down, and I had a safety line tied to the top, so I just rooped it so I could just basically rappel down, run over, pick up his release, I throw it up to him. No, I tied it around the bow hoist.
Yeah, the bow hoist he tied up to,
and I'm like, all right, see ya, and I get to go. I get maybe 30 yards away. I dropped my release again.
As soon as I got it, like I'm literally I'm bending over, picking up the rope. I'm going to reach for it, just about to get it in my hands. Literally, I can feel its essence. That's
great.
And I just watch it go down again, and it's just I just see it going, and then it just appears into the foliage, and I'm like, please come back.
I might have a little bit of a temper at times, and now I'm sweat's pouring off me. I'm just like, God!
And then he gets over there. He's like, where is it? He's like, where is it? Where is it? I'm like, hold on. He's like, where? I'm like, there. He goes, but where there? And because I mean, how high up was I?
27 feet exactly.
27 feet exactly. So trying not to be loud if there are deer in the area, if they haven't left already by the crashing and banging of me getting up there, then dropping my release twice. So, anyways, I finally get the release up, and somehow a doe that we saw when we got in there, she was there. You had to spook off. Then you had to spook it off again.
Because she was coming back.
She was coming back right after I dropped my release. She's walking back, so he had to spook off a deer so I could get my release.
And she came back, and you sent me a picture, but you sent me a picture of a fawn.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, should I shoot it? I said, no.
Yeah.
But we have 2 hours still. Doe are definitely coming through, but I had sat in that stand a few times. Every time I sat there, I passed up a bunch of bucks, but every time I sat there, small 8 points, small 6 points, nothing that I would shoot, but he'd never gotten a bow buck, so yeah. And then he goes, Dad, there was a much larger doe, and I'm like, well, shoot that one. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was just like weird. I was just like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I obviously I know what to do, but everything just left my mind, and I was it was like I was starting from rock bottom again. I'm like, so what do I do? Like, do I shoot? He's like, is it close enough? I was like, yeah, I got a range. It's like 25 yards. He's like, so what are you doing? I don't know. So I go to take this shot and I miss. And like I knew I missed.
I knew you missed because I could hear the crack and no bloop.
Yeah, like, it was. I like that at the shot. He's like, and I was like, I missed. But yeah. So he's like, well, just you have more arrows. Just stay there. Well, if you know.
Hold on to your release.
Yeah, hold on to the release.
Hold on to the release.
Just you're probably gonna see another one again. And so I sat there for a longer time, just kept waiting, and just as it's getting darker, like a whole bunch of deer just start surrounding me, coming from every angle.
Oh, you saw a bobcat that night too.
Oh yeah, I did see a bobcat right before.
Yeah.
I actually have a video if you want to put it on.
Yeah, no, it's a good bobcat. I've been watching
Yeah.
for a couple of years now. It's probably, I'm not exaggerating, that's a 40-pound cat.
Yeah, maybe. But it came from like behind me, and I heard like stuff moving. I was like, and I looked down, I see a cat. I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I just like seeing stuff from out from a tree was really nice because they don't see you as much. So
That's one of the advantages about saddle hunting. I know it's not for everybody, and honestly, I'll utilize everything I can. Spot and stalk, ground blind, tree stand. What I like about the saddle, the comfort's not bad, and you have that tree in between you. And honestly, it's amazing what kind of movement you can get away with because they don't see your body. So you can start doing these kind of gestures, and they're like, why are those tree branches flapping? It's a nice opportunity too, with especially a lot of deer, to be able to get your bow pulled back and then lean out and let one go. So
yeah, I definitely moved a lot more than I should be. I know that, but like I got away with a lot more. But anyways, just watch the bobcat go. But yeah, so it started getting dark, and it was like I was getting ambushed. There was deer coming from the soccer field above the like right front coming down, and then from behind me there's deer trails, and then from where my dad was there, like the path going where my dad was sitting, deer was coming. So I was just like, all right, well, I definitely don't see any bucks. It's just a bunch of doe. So I was.
And I'm there with binoculars watching this converge.
Yeah.
It was like Lord of the Rings where they were hitting like Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, kill something.
Yeah, so I'm also texting him. I'm like, Dad, I see a lot of deer. He's like, well, pick one and shoot it. And I was like, all right. So the one that is closest to me, broadside, standing between two bush, perfect, like right where I actually missed the first one, basically. I had enough time. I was watching, stopped broadside. I was like, I might have waited actually a little too long. I think, I might have had a better shot because it started walking a little bit. So, but I got it. I know I hit this one, and I took off closer, like going the direction of my dad, and I thought I heard it crash, but I wasn't certain because there was too many deer running, and I knew I hit it this time, so I was moving. I was like, Dad, I shot a deer.
Well, I could hear the thump thump, and then but there were so many deer running that I'm like, I think I heard it crash right by me, but I couldn't tell because there were so many deer running in every direction, and then we waited till dark, went down, and I was like, Brendan, where'd it run? He's like, that way, and I'm like, yeah, but more specifically, he's like, that way.
But where it ran into was this really thick bush.
It was about 7 feet high of a mix of multiflora rose and just the field that hadn't been mowed now probably 25 years.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, so it was really thick stuff. But I watched it run off, but it was kind of dark, and obviously it was thick stuff. I was like, if it's no more than 40 yards deep, if it did land. I was like, I heard it. It's in this. We mapped out like a box where we were gonna look. But it started raining, it was dark, and it was thick.
It was just too thick. It wasn't like you were looking down at blood.
Yeah.
You were trying to... There was not like a trail that we were following. It ran right into this thick stuff.
Yeah.
So kind of pushed around. I'm like, if there's any hope of finding this deer, it's not going to be tonight.
Yeah.
So we got up early, went to church. We hit the early service and then came back. And it was cool. But it started warming up, and we got out there, and after the rain, we weren't finding much of anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I know what general direction it went. I'm going to kind of go and lay down. But it was really hard because of all the thorn bushes and everything. And just by some miracle, there was a tree. It had like a cave going through it almost. Because all the stuff, the vines and
all the bush
were
around it.
So I got down on my knees to crawl through that. You've seen me crawl before. It's not pretty.
It's funny.
So I'm like, I found a drop of blood.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got blood. Now it's like Bird Dog. I'm on it now. I love my buddy Johnny tells a story about Aaron's like a bird dog. He gets a drop of blood. It's like the old Nintendo Duck Hunt with the dog's tails going. So now I'm literally crawling like this through this thick stuff, just looking drop of blood, drop of blood, drop of blood, and he's behind me. And I'm a little bit ridiculous with this because now I'm like this. Like
he was very meticulous. He was like, all right, each drop of blood. Each drop of blood, stop and just sit there. I'm gonna go 5 feet, and not even just.
And then,
very meticulous. And while I'm
and Newton, how can you tell which direction the blood was traveling?
Not sure.
How many years did you sit in my classroom?
The teardrop, the way.
Oh yeah, if there's like the comet tail, that means it's going.
Yes! Okay, so he does remember something from sitting in my classroom for years. If you're unfamiliar, actually, we should do a podcast about how to tell which direction blood is going.
I'm surprised you didn't break a clipboard when I got the answer wrong.
From forensic science, you can learn a lot about the deer from their blood. You know, you always see people talking about lung blood or gut blood or whatever, but there's also directional indications of which way the blood's going, how fast the deer, if it's walking, if it's running. You can tell that from the blood droplets. And I get to like a little V, and I'm like, most likely he went this way. So I'm going down, I can't find any blood. And then the wind blows, and you can smell it.
I was sitting behind him, and I was like, Dad, like, you smell that? He's like, I smell it. I was like, that smells like it smells like a dead deer.
Yeah,
He's like,
so now I gotta try to stand up, but I have all this stuff above me. So I'm like, trying to get up. And I stood up, and now I can see, because the coyote got it.
So I was gonna ask the coyotes got it.
Yeah, the coyotes got it. We were able to salvage. They always go in through the butt, so the back legs were pretty smooth.
A few years ago, my granddad actually, his eyes were getting a little bit worse, so he kind of got punched a big 8-point, and we found the 8-point the next day on a Sunday after church, and the entire butt end was eaten. Like, it was just completely gone. We're like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so that's another topic too. I know people.
Yeah.
I liked not being able to hunt on Sunday. I'm sorry. I know people, especially now, I think they're talking about going back to a Monday opener.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah.
And I know people, the Pennsylvania Game Commission. Schools were closed. I love that whole week. I probably wasn't going to school.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, I know.
But I loved Monday openers, and I guess it works better. But Sunday mornings, I'm going to church.
Yeah.
Sundays in general, I don't like that these stores are open. I don't love the world is. It was nice on Sunday. When I was young, my parents actually didn't go to church. They weren't saved until I was older. I used to go to church with my grandparents, and then I like that Sunday, be with the family, dinner. Brenda and I, we go to a different church than my parents. We'll go to church, then we'll have lunch with them. Just relax. It's a nice afternoon, and then you can watch football, whatever. I don't. I'll make time.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. But that being said, we found you deer.
yeah.
We were able to. We got the back straps in the front half. We did lose a little bit, but we still. You got your first doe with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, my first bow kill,
And I don't know. I was pretty proud.
it was cool. But I missed a deer. I gut punched a deer. I was very confident on the second one that I didn't pull. Like I thought the first one I was like, all right, I think I really yanked this one, and like dropped my arm. I was like, this one I was confident. I knew I put good placement. I had my stabilizer wasn't on my bow. We're looking at pictures later on of the doe in the sled, and like we're like posing with the bow in front of it, and like it was just like really cool. It was like a cultivation of my entire life came to this moment. I got my first bow kill.
Cultivation or culmination?
Same thing.
No, I think you pretty sure you cultivate crops and you culminate.
Like Big New.
Yeah.
Kilted Homesteader.
The Kilted Homesteader again. It always comes back to the old
shot.
Kilted.
Anyways, but yeah. So we're taking a lot of pictures, and later my dad sends me a picture, and he's like, "You notice anything wrong with this picture?" No, it's just you and me. And I thought maybe he edited like a little like weird meme in there somewhere, and I was
Look left, look right.
yeah, I was
look
looking I was looking everywhere else, and then he sent me again with my bow in like a red outline. He goes, "Where's your stabilizer?"
He dropped that out of the stand with the release.
Yeah, no, but the case that he gave me to put the bow in, it wouldn't fit with the stabilizer on it, so I took it off and I tucked it under the cushion.
You know, you give this kid a $3,000 setup, and what do you hear him doing? Complaining that the case has to unscrew the stabilizer.
No,
I just buy another case.
Yeah, no, I forgot to put the stabilizer back on. I put it under the cushion and
So he's in a brand new tethered Phantom saddle. He's got out on a limb platform, which he was using my platform because he forgot his tethered platform while I'm literally standing on 2 climbing sticks with my legs spread. What else did he have? Probably wearing my camouflage.
I was actually, because my stuff doesn't fit me anymore. So I was wearing a Scentlock suit he gave me, light
boots.
Yeah, the light boots that he bought me. I was wearing Under Armour that he got when he was first a cop.
Yeah,
I wear those all the time.
You
I
know,
love those Under Armour.
Under Armour is expensive, the base layers. But man, it's good product. I bought those for my first New Year's Eve when I just got out of police academy over 20 years ago. And I wore them all winter. I would snowboard in them, and I would use them for hunting and then use them for work.
Yeah.
And I wore them for 20 years. And
Personally, I take Under Armour base layers over Sitka base layers any day. Honestly.
I know you're a Sitka fanboy, but I never bothered with any other base layers because the Under Armour works so good.
I've used both, and the Under Armour is so much better.
Yeah, I used to wear this stuff called Duofold, and it didn't work that good.
Really?
You know, it was like the old school, like long john type stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, when people, they killed deer. You always have these idiots on the internet. Like, people have been killing things in Walmart stuff for years. Yeah, they have been killing things for years and red flannel jeans and work boots, but I also used to drive around in 1977 Buick LeSabre. I don't miss that either. Technology's gotten better. It makes things easier. And some things I don't like it being easier, but when it comes to, as you're looking at my indoor recurve target, I like shooting a recurve. Yeah, I know it's a lot harder than the compound. It's definitely a lot harder than
More primitive.
your crossbow. That's what I'm going to say. But I like a little bit of a challenge, but I don't like to freeze to death.
Yeah.
I love my heated socks. Game changer. I had this really cool pair of Baffin boots. They're so warm.
Yeah, they are really warm, actually. I know that for a fact because I wear it every time I go out hunting. I went out on rifle
2 years ago.
No, this year. I got a deer and I got a doe and rifle 2 years ago. Yeah, with you. We tracked all the way up to power line. But this year,
that wasn't a doe. That was a buck. I mean, look at me. Just because its antlers fell off.
Yeah.
No,
we called it anyways. But anyways, so this year though in rifle I wear his nice Baffin boots. They're very warm.
I don't know. I've worn them once years ago and that was it. But alright, well, thanks and
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I kind of have to have.
Yeah, eventually.
Well, we'll see what happens next year going off into the real world. Yeah. Newton found out how difficult it is to get out hunting once you have a full-time job.
Yep, that's true.
You gotta make the time. I understand this was your first go-around and you had just started working, but... Well,
hey, listen, if your grandma needs Medicare and she lives in Pennsylvania, let me know. So
there you go. Nothing like a shameless shout out to make him some money. So Medicare, Pennsylvania.
Yep, Medicare, cancer policies, life insurance, home and auto, anything. So,
Yeah, reach out to Mr. Newton Convict Fifth here, and this young man, hopefully we don't see him in the fall.
Yeah, hopefully to hear back from the Naval Academy. That's where I want to go to school.
So hopefully he'll be in boot camp or whatever the military does with him, and then go from there. But all right, until next time, God bless.
On the rugged road where the wild winds blow, through the mountains high where the rivers flow, with the sun in the sky and my family by my side, we're chasing dreams on this hunting ride. Out in the wild where the heart feels free, with the ones I love, that's where I'll always be. Through the woods so deep and the sky so wide, we're living life on the rugged